Here it is. It's 2020, everybody. Today is January 1st, 2020. And like I've been saying, 2019 is now in hindsight. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. We'll get started shortly as soon as some people pop in here because I got some updates for some. Actually, this article is a prequel, we'll say, to the article that I covered last week regarding macular degeneration and the possibility of curing a lot of blindness issues. So stay tuned for that. We'll get started shortly. Alrighty, we'll get started here right now. Why not? Because I can. It's my show. Right. Welcome, everyone. Welcome to the show. I am your host, Whistler. This is Theory of a Blind Man. Right. TheoryofBlindMan.com or Twitter.com/TheoryOBlindMan. You can only have so many characters on Twitter handle or Twitter URLs, so that's what I got stuck with, which is kind of fitting. Oh, blind man, being Irish and all, that's kind of cool. So anyway, I found this article today, and it comes out of the independent.co.uk, I think it is, and it's an article actually from March 2018, but I found it very relevant in the article that I covered in the last MacD video, which you can find a link to that video in the description box below. Now, this particular article is talking about how a couple of elderly people who suffer from AMD, aged macular degeneration, and I found out wet macular degeneration, wet MacD, they went through some stem cell trials, and before you guys get all up in arms about stem cells, don't go there. They're done with that kind of testing. There's many other ways to acquire stem cells, including from yourself. There's actually a lady in UCLA who is leading the study on blank stem cells. And these blank stem cells, like Bruce Lipton did back in the 60s or 70s during his trials, these blank stem cells basically adapt to their environment. So if you stick them in the liver, they'll become liver stem cells. If you stick them, I don't know, in the toenail bed of your right big toe, then they will be responsible for fungus in that toe. That sort of thing, you know? So there's many ways that they can acquire stem cells. Now, this particular trial, they're in phase 1. I guess they just completed phase 1. And the two people that are going to be talking about in this article, one is 80-something and the other is 60-something. So they're elderly, but they can now read. That is just amazing. So I'm going to go ahead and play this. Now, what I did again, I don't know what it is with news websites, but they're just littered with ads. Like every other paragraph has this giant annoying ad, which really sucks with screen readers. So I copied the text and I took out everything except the article and I made an audio file from it. So you'll just get to hear, who is this? Nikki or Nora? I think it's Nikki reading it to you. So let's go to that right now. Here we go. Yay.
Restored after stem cell trial success. Advance could mean affordable off-the-shelf therapy to treat age-related macular degeneration, the leading causes of sight loss in the UK. Link, Alex Matthews King, health correspondent, Monday, March 19, 2018-19. 52. Douglas Waters was struggling to see up close after developing severe macular degeneration, but 12 months on he is able to read a newspaper again. Murfield's patients have had their sight restored in a pioneering trial in which stem cells were used to regrow the cells in the eye responsible for detailed vision. 2 patients, a man in his 80s and a woman in her 60s, are now able to read again after the procedure, which is the first of its kind. Both patients suffered from a severe visual impairment caused by age-related macular degeneration, AMD, but reported their sight was greatly improved 12 months on. While the results have been seen in a small number of patients, the early findings are a promising sign the treatment is safe and could be effective in other blindness-causing diseases, the researchers said. This study represents real progress in regenerative medicine and opens the door on new treatment options for people with age-related macular degeneration. Professor Pete Coffey of UCL said, "We hope this will lead to an affordable off-the-shelf therapy that could be made available to NHS patients within the next 5 years." AMD is the most common cause of blindness in developed countries according to the Foundation Fighting Blindness. In the UK it affects around 600,000 people. It causes the central vision to deteriorate, making it impossible to focus on text or objects, causing colors to lose vibrancy and making it difficult to recognize faces, while the peripheral vision isn't affected, meaning patients don't have total sight loss. It can make it very difficult to live independently and can lead to a legal classification of blindness. In the months before the operation my sight was really poor and I couldn't see anything out of my right eye. I was struggling to see things clearly, even when up close, said Douglas Waters, 86, from Creighton, one of the patients treated at Murfield's Eye Hospital. After the surgery my eyesight improved to the point where I can now read the newspaper and help my wife out with the gardening. It's brilliant what the team have done and I feel so lucky to have been given my sight back. The loss of vision is caused by the death of a thin layer of light-sensing retinal cells at the back of the eye, in a region called the macular. All the subjects in this trial had a severe form of the condition, called wet AMD, where sight loss can happen rapidly in just days or weeks. Mr. Waters was diagnosed in July 2015 and began treatment just 3 months later. For this trial, new macular cells were grown from embryonic stem cells, which can grow to become any type of tissue in the body, and were attached to a plastic scaffold patch which recreates the shape and structures of the eye. The patch was then inserted into the eye, replacing the diseased macular cells. Patients had previously been unable to read, even with glasses, but can now read 60-80 words per minute with normal reading glasses. The findings, published in the journal Nature Biotechnology, are the result of a partnership between Murfield's Eye Hospital NHS Foundation Trust, the UCL Institute of Ophthalmology, and the National Institute for Health Research, NIHR. It could work in other types of sight loss, the authors said, and independent experts agreed there could be benefits in the near future. Dr. Carmel Toombs, associate professor at the Leeds Institutes of Molecular Medicine, said that previous studies have injected cells directly into the patient, but the new patch technique helps cells grow in the correct orientation. What's exciting about this study is that the patients recorded an increase in vision. Patients with very poor vision are chosen for phase 1 trials because of their untested nature. To see an improvement is a good sign that this therapy may help patients in the future, although further studies are needed before real conclusions can be drawn.
So there you have it. It's a very, very interesting article, and I find it fascinating, this patch that they are talking about. I think that's going to be quite amazing. Okay. So, yeah. Now, the reason why I brought up the whole old ways of getting stem cells before I play the article, because it does mention embryonic stem cells in this article. However, if you guys have read up on how they extract stem cells nowadays, it's not like how it used to be. So, that's a good thing. I'm going to hit up the chat, see if anybody's here. If not, then I'm just going to head out of here and post this as the article itself. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. Joe. Hey, Joe. Crazy blind man. They're better from your own body depending on your circumstances. Absolutely. I totally agree. And the reason why I brought up the whole blank stem cells, like the lady was doing in UCLA, Southern California, that is, University of California, Los Angeles. She takes the blank stem cells from your own body, you know where, from males, and yeah, they can grow because they're pretty much already programmed with your DNA. So by placing your own stem cells where you need them, then they will be able to do what they're supposed to do. And Happy New Year to you too, sir. Crazy Blind Man, yes. And actually, in, I believe it's North Carolina or South Carolina, there's actually an institute called the Regenerative Medicine Institute. And they are actually able to regrow things that one may need. When was it? Someone was just talking about this, about actually regrowing limbs. And they were doing, Russia. They were doing studies on this in the 30s or 40s or, early 20th century research studies, trying to regrow limbs and whatnot. So the research has been there. I think they are much farther along than what they tell us. And that could be for a myriad of reasons. Who knows? It could be monetary. It could be liability. Who knows, right? Yeah, and I didn't know about the summits. I'll have to look those up. That sounds interesting. I've personally find this fascinating because when I lost my sight in 2003, the same thing happened in both eyes. My retinas had pretty much exploded, and so my doctor decided to do nothing to my left eye and would risk surgeries on my right eye to see if they could save any vision. So his thinking was that, well, technology is advancing so fast in medicine that he has hope for at least for my left eye, right? So now we're at this stage. Like for me personally, they've already got artificial retinas. I need that. I need that. Plus, give me some stem cells. Give me a few trillion stem cells. I'll be good. And so I'm really hopeful. Like I could have probably, I would say 98% chance within 10 years with all these studies and research projects going on that I could have sight in my left eye within 10 years. That would be amazing. Then you guys are in for one hell of a show. Whew. Tell you what, buddy. I gotta look up those summits. That'd be interesting, Crazy Blind Man. I don't know if you're a gamer, Crazy Blind Man, but if you are, check out the new project that I started. Joe Quirk, he's in the chat. He's helping me out with it. Access for Gamers, she's helping me out with it. It's gonna be a huge project for gamers by gamers, and we're going the extra mile for this particular awards ceremony. It's gonna be a live stream later this year, at the end of this year. I can now say that because it's January 1st. Happy New Year! Woo! Yay! I hope you guys were safe last night. I was sleeping. So, that'll do it for the article. Unless you guys got any questions, hit me up right quick, and I'll try to get to those. Oh yeah, that's what I was gonna say about putting the right things in your body. There is a certain fuel that... No, I can't say fuel because that'd be redundant. There's a certain food or energy source that fuels cancer cells. Do you guys know what that is? It has the same molecular structure as cancer cells, and that's why they fit so well together. And this one, I will call it, let's see if you guys know what it is. It is, dang, what would you call that? It can be natural. It can be artificial. It can be processed. It can be raw. You can add it to things, baking, cooking, that sort of thing. So anyway, it's one of those little thingies, and it comes in like a grainy powder substance, right? So let me know if you guys know what that is. But anyway, that's like the top fueler for cancer, and that's why it's so bad to have this thing if you have cancer. So that'd be a good reason why not to put that sort of thing in your body. And also too, in northern India, there's a tribe there, and I guess for generations their snack of choice are apricot seeds, and they haven't had cancer in their genes for generations. So I found that fascinating. I guess you guys don't know what it is. It is sugar. We all know already that artificial sweetener is bad anyway. So I'm just talking about regular old sugar. Regular old sugar. That would be really fascinating if someone was able to figure out exactly everything the body needs in the correct amounts, and every person obviously is different. Who was it? For example, oh man, there's this really famous dude who has a blend of some kind of nutrients, liquid nutrients, every single day. I'm gonna have to look that up. I don't want to misquote, but apparently he's like one of the healthiest people on the planet. Alrighty. That's gonna do it for this show, everybody. I appreciate you being here. It's been fun. Like always, I love being here with you guys. And until the next time, I hope you guys have had a happy 2019. And you've got many good plans or goals or New Year's resolutions, if you do that sort of thing, for the upcoming year, 2020. It's going to be big for Theory of a Blind Man. I know that much. Check out twitter.com/BlindStarGamers. That's where I'm posting all the updates. Well, I'm not, but Access for Gamers is actually the social media person for this project. It'll be the big... Nope, I'm going to stop right there. If you guys want more information on that, you're going to have to tune in live this Friday at 4 p.m. Pacific time with my buddy Joe Quirk. He's in the chat. And Riley Rose from Access for Gamers. We're going to go over the whole project. And we got many people volunteering and helping us with this project. It's going to be amazing, and it's going to be worth it. And it's just going to be a big thank you for, how should I say, accessible developers. Yeah, we'll go with that. So anyway, until next time, everybody, take care and have a lovely day.